Jack, welcome to the program. Much glad you can make it. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks for having me, Mark. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome, mate. You deserve it. How was your New Year?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I just spent it with family, usual stuff. What about yourself?
Yeah, same here, mate. Quiet one. Probably drank a little bit too much. Uh, Usually drink, so a couple of champagnes knocked me over the edge, and feeling a bit sore the next day. But upwards and onwards, buddy. So you've got a big year ahead of you, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I do.
And what are you up to, mate? Tell the viewers what you're doing.
Yeah, so February 26th, I'll be leaving Melbourne in an attempt to cycle around Australia unsupported for the Cure for MND Foundation.
Okay, so riding around Australia, mate, that is absolutely terrifying. I mean, anybody who knows how big Australia is, just looking at it is intimidating. I mean, how big's the ride?
Uh, Around Australia is about 14,000 k's, but I've estimated to cover around 20 to 25,000 just with all the extra stuff I'm looking to do along the way. So I
Okay,
estimated around 25,000.
okay. What extra stuff are you doing?
I want to go visit some national parks and whatnot, and yeah, just do a bit of extra travelling.
Wow. Okay. And obviously, including Tassie, because everyone forgets about Tassie. It is part of Australia, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm doing Tasmania as well at the end.
Wow. And how are you getting your bike over to Tassie?
The Spirit of Tasmania, just on the boat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Gee. Now, mate, you're doing it for MND, right?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what MND is, because quite frankly, before I was introduced to you and brought across what you're actually doing, I've never heard of it, other than Neil Danaher, the famous, obviously, Essendon football player, having it. Never heard of it. So tell us what it's about, mate, quite just quickly.
Well, essentially, yeah, there's no cure to it, and it's just a group of diseases that attacks the primary functions of the human body. It can either attack you from, head down to toe or vice versa. So, yeah, it pretty much just degrades the human body, and there's no cure. So you're pretty much, yeah, you're going to die if you get motor neurone disease. At the moment, there's no cure for it.
And how does it come about? I mean, are you born with it? Is it genetic? Is it you?
Yeah,
How does it all happen?
yeah, it can be genetic, but yeah, it can also be contracted. Yeah, otherwise it just can come along. So yeah.
That's how do you? I understand the genetics part of it, but how do you contract something like that?
I'm not 100% sure how you can contract it. Yeah, I'm not sure, but genetics wise, if if your family members have had it in the past, and I guess it's not 100% that you'll get it, but it can happen. The risks are increased, I guess.
That's scary, isn't it? Contracting something like that, and it's a form of cancer, right?
No, no, it's not cancer. I don't think it's cancer. No, it's just I'm not sure. I'm not too sure how to define it, but it is a group of diseases that just attack the primary functions of the human body and just shuts you down over time. So you can't, it degrades the human body, I guess.
How much time? I mean, if you get it right, say you get diagnosed with it now, is it months, weeks, years? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I guess it's depending on how aggressive it is, really. But I'll use my friend's dad for example, who I inspired me to do the ride. He passed away in 2014, and he battled it for almost 4 years. So yeah, it can vary, I guess, but usually it extends into the years more than months.
Yeah, gee, that's devastating for the family and everyone around the loved one concerned there, mate. So on your mate, I mean, he lost his dad 2014, so what, that's 3 years ago now. So how's he doing?
Yeah, he's well. He's doing well. Yeah, he's coping well. He's got a lot of mates to support him. He's a strong family, so yeah, he's doing very well.
Okay, so you've just turned 18, correct?
That's right.
Okay, and that means your mate is the same age.
Yep.
Okay, so that would have made him around 15 when he lost his dad. That would have been pretty traumatic.
Yep.
What effect did it have on like you obviously you still had your family intact. You had your dad, you had your mum, brothers, sisters, I assume. Yet one of your best mates lost his dad, and you presumably would have known him very well. So how did it sort of change your outlook on life as a 15-year-old?
Yeah, so like you said, knowing Sav's dad, John, pretty well before his passing, I was lucky enough to go on a few holidays and whatnot with him, and he was a really genuine person. So when he passed away, I thought it was a bit unfair that my friend, had lost his father at such a young age. So I thought I'd want to do something in an attempt to make a difference to this disease. So I guess working alongside the Cure for MND Foundation, it's really reaffirming knowing that these people are, getting behind me and knowing that I can achieve something like this, I guess.
No, it's fascinating, mate. So when was the first time that you made the decision that one, you're going to actually do something for the foundation, and two, that it's going to be riding around Australia? Because I mean that's an absolutely enormous project that you're undertaking. So when did this enter your head?
I'll say at the start of 2016. I was really considering it. I just started year 12 and I thought, I'm turning 18 at the end of the year. I wanted to start off, my adult life doing something pretty good, I guess. So I started planning in May. I sort of confirmed it in May that I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick it out. So I'd say beginning of 2016 I really started considering doing it, and I've always loved riding my bike, so I thought why not, go on a journey, ride my bike around Australia, I guess, see if I can do it.
No, makes a lot of sense. So 2016, it's just turned 2017, right? So fair to say you've been sort of thinking about or seriously preparing for this for what? Only 12 months?
Yep, pretty much. 12 months, yep. So I worked pretty hard throughout the year to gather majority of the equipment I needed to load the bike up, I guess. So I had the bike already, bought all the bags and whatnot, racks, all the gear I needed, equipment, and so I spent all of my savings pretty much from last year's work, and put it into this journey.
Okay, so to me, I mean, let's talk about the logistics of it a bit later on, because I'm very interested in that. But to me, physically and mentally, how have you prepared for it?
Well, I think preparing for something like this, I don't think you can really train to be ready for something like this. So I think it's just half of the challenge is going to be on my body. I think the other half is going to be more a mind game and me just pushing through the pain barriers. So training wise, I was out maybe 3 days a week on the bike before school and whatnot. So I'd try and get some Ks in throughout the week, and then I'd be at the gym also almost every day after school. So I was, training my body to get a bit stronger and whatnot. And I'm guessing, when I leave, I'm going to be pumping out some big Ks throughout the day. So I'll be training my body regardless each day. So I'll be getting stronger. So yeah.
So have you sought any professional advice in terms of how ready you are, how good your preparation's been, how good your nutrition's been? Have you consulted anybody, or are you just sort of on your own doing that yourself?
No, I have spoken to a few people that have actually. I spoke to one person. He lives in Leeds, UK. His name's Imran, and he's ridden through I think 22 or 30 countries. He rode through 30 countries on his bike unsupported. So in terms of preparation, he sort of guided me and told me whether or not I was prepared to do it. But in terms of my training, I have been on my own. Besides my training partner, I have been on my own to determine whether or not I am really ready to do it. Yeah.
And what are some of the things? What were some of the sort of targets or benchmarks of readiness that you sort of mapped out for yourself? Is it doing 100 Ks a day for 5 days straight? Is it being doing a certain speed, a certain inclination? I mean, what satisfied you that you're ready physically?
Yeah, I think, like you said before, setting a benchmark, setting a goal distance that I'd achieve on a ride and just achieving it and seeing how I felt. If I was eating enough food, energizing along the ride, not bonking out and whatnot, drinking enough water, I felt myself getting faster on the bike and stronger. So I sort of knew, all right, I'm ready to take it on. I'm going to get stronger regardless when I leave. So yeah.
And this guy Imran, how did you get in contact with him?
Was watching his YouTube videos. He made a few parts of like his travels around the world, and I contacted him, and he got in touch with me. Did a Skype call with him, and yeah, we speak just on Facebook regularly about how progress is going and whatnot. So yeah, he's been pretty good.
Mm. You know what's fascinating? I mean, how much little press that appears, and I may be wrong, I'm obviously based in Asia, you're from Australia, but just how little press that seems to be out there on something, an event such as enormous as this, because um, I haven't really heard or read anything. I track the Australian news, obviously being born in Melbourne. I track the what's going on down under. I haven't really, and especially sports, I haven't really heard or seen anything that's covering this, achievement.
Yeah. So besides the obvious Facebook posts that I've made on the Facebook page, yeah, I haven't really posted much because I haven't left yet, obviously. But I've been working alongside the organisation, and we're just waiting, I guess, till a closer date to do a media release, and hopefully, a few people will pick it up and whatnot. So I'm actually meeting Neil Danaher soon to get a few photos taken with him, and then we're going to send them off to the newspapers, hopefully, and see if they put it on the covers.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they would, wouldn't you? Being Neil Danaher, and obviously, a young lad like you, so ambitious to achieve something for such a decent cause. You mentioned, mate, a couple of times you're unsupported, or you're doing this unsupported. What does that exactly mean?
So that means, yeah, pretty much no support crew. I'll have no one following me, no cars following me, no one meeting me at spots to give me support. I might have family members and friends and whatnot meeting me, even people riding with me occasionally, but everything I do is by myself. So if my bike breaks down in the middle of nowhere, I fix it myself. If I'm hungry, I feed myself. I don't go to the car and get food. It's all unsupported.
So we're not just talking financial unsupportedness. We're talking about you got no one with you at all, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, let me just tell you a little bit about Australia. It's extremely vast. I mean, even where I came from, Melbourne. Once you get up into the rural parts of the state, Victoria, all it is just fields and paddies, really. And being stuck in the middle of the night would be ghastly, right? I mean, I can't begin to imagine how you feel. I mean, I'd be terrified being in a car. But so, what do you take with you? I mean, how do you give us a typical day that you're going to be experiencing?
Well, yeah, obviously because I haven't left, I wouldn't really know what to expect, but I could predict it, I guess. It's not going to be a luxurious lifestyle. So I've got my tent, all my sleeping equipment. I've got my food that I'll be packing, and water bladders to keep myself hydrated, I guess. Got 2 6-litre water bladders, so I'll have enough water. I've got cooking equipment and just cameras and whatnot to take photos. So I'd be traveling from a caravan park, for example, on average 160k a day with a fully loaded bike, which is up to 60 kilos, so it's very heavy. And once I reach the following caravan park, campsite, whatnot, I'll set up tent, cook myself a meal, and just sleep. Probably get an early night because it'd be an early start in the morning.
Yeah. So what's your plan in terms of you're doing the 160k? You're going to be doing predominantly in the mornings or at night, because obviously February come March I know it's a seasonal change, but it's certainly still pretty hot. And once you get up north and across sort of the north of Northern Territory and out the back of Broome, and then way down, coming down south again of Western Australia, it's going to get very hot. So are you planning to ride mostly during the day or night, or how are you planning that?
Yeah, so I plan to ride early mornings, get up early and sort of smash out the Ks earlier throughout the day, so I'm finished, before like nightfall. So I'd ideally I'd want to be off the road before dark because it is pretty dangerous out on those rural roads. I'm actually travelling clockwise around first, so I'd be going through the Nullarbor within the first few weeks, so it's going to be very hot. So yeah, I'd start very early to beat the headwinds, I guess, and try and get the Ks out early throughout the day.
So you're going Melbourne. If we could just do it state by state, you're going Melbourne, Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, Northern Territory, Queensland, Sydney, back into Melbourne, correct? And then
Yep,
obviously Tasmania in between that.
exactly. Yep.
So who helped you with that? I mean, and why did you do that? Why didn't you go anti-clockwise or um, a
Yep.
different route?
Yeah. No one. Actually, I did all the planning and routing. I've done myself. So I just researched, I guess, where I can ride, where I can't ride, and where I should ride, I guess. So I mapped that all out on a big map of Australia. Mapped it all out with some pins, and yeah, and then I just started mapping it out for my GPS, I guess. So no one really told me to either go, clockwise, anti-clockwise. It was just a personal preference, I guess. I'd want to come down the coast side at the end.
Yeah, get the best, save the best till last. It's a beautiful, beautiful view, down that sort of Gold Coast, that Great Barrier Reef, Gold Coast, uh, Byron Bay area of Australia. No, I think that's probably a smart move. It's going to be bloody hot actually leaving Melbourne and going to, west over. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
So, Jack, what will you do? I mean, this is bound to happen somewhere along the line, right? Things never go to plan. So, you're riding. You're stuck in the middle of South Australia, in a rural town, in between towns, say for an example, and your bike, you get a flat tire or your chain breaks. I mean, what are you going to do? You
I've
get a hitchhike. You get
Yeah, yeah. I've actually got the spare parts on me on the bike. So what happens if the bike breaks down? I guess I'll repair it. But if it's beyond my repair, I'd obviously just have to catch a few lifts to the nearest bike shop, and then I'd attempt to get back to the spot I broke down to start back off. So yeah, I know I'm pretty bike smart, so I can fix the basic stuff. I guess punctured tire, broken chain, whatnot. But if, like I said, beyond my repair, I'd probably have to go to the nearest bike shop.
Okay. And okay, yeah. So you're gonna be carrying cash on you, credit cards, or how are you going to sort of pay for all of this?
Yeah, no. I'll be carrying credit cards, obviously, yeah, but just small amounts of cash, most likely, not large amounts of cash, yeah, just to be safe.
No, you wouldn't want to be doing that, mate. Yeah, absolutely. And when you say you pay for all of this yourself, how much money has this cost you from the day you made the decision to do this up until today? How much has it actually caused you to be out of pocket?
I spent all up. I spent around $6,000 to get all the equipment I needed. Yeah, that's not including the bike. So yeah, I got all the stuff I needed, and I had the bike previously, so I was set for that. Yeah, but I actually had a fundraising night not too long ago, and we were able to raise $16,000. So that was a great step forward. That's actually going to help me get around the country and support me to yeah, financially to get around.
So 6 grand so far. How much money is it going to cost you to do the actual trip? I mean, notwithstanding any major issues like major damage to your bike or anything like that, but just budgeted food, budgeted water, a couple of breakdowns. How much do you think it'll cost you?
I haven't actually planned that out. But if I was to estimate, I'd probably say around another $7,000, maybe up to 10, possibly up to 10, including all accommodation and whatnot. If I have to stay in some motels and whatnot some nights in the middle of nowhere, so yeah, I'd say up to 10.
Okay, because what surprises me is with, and I'm not sort of playing down all the people because we're all sort of equally as important. But when you've got the likes of a Neil Danaher having something like this, and obviously you'd say probably tens of thousands of people around the world having something like this. You'd think the foundation and other charities will be almost throwing money at you to get this in the spotlight. Why haven't they been doing that? Is that
Yeah, so because we didn't want to release any, media releases prior to me leaving, because then it would just die off and people wouldn't be interested in it. So I guess we're going to wait until, a couple of weeks before I leave on the 26th of Feb and then release something and see if people pick it up and whatnot. So at least then people will know when I'm leaving. They won't forget about it because it's only a couple of weeks, past the date I've released the media release. So hopefully
okay?
people start picking it up.
So who advised you on that strategy?
Yeah, one of the ladies I'm working alongside with, her name's Anna. She's from the Cure for MND Foundation, and she organises all the social media and whatnot, all the media side of it, and as well as event organisation. So, yeah, she's been a
Okay.
big help.
So you're not running around, mate, although the foundation hasn't thrown money, or the charities or sponsors have thrown money at it. They have helped you in other ways that sort of keep you focused on training and the goal that you set out, right?
Yep, yeah, they've been a massive help for me. They've helped a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I personally, if I was sort of handling something like this, I would have been more inclined to try and get as much awareness up front so people support it, like key sponsors, clothing companies, sporting companies, nutrition companies. So not only are you sort of cashed up for it, but so that's one mental sort of strain off your back. But it also raises a lot of money for what you're out to do for the cause. Rather than leaving it sort of ladder. It's an interesting strategy. I'm not sure there's a wrong or right to it, but I would have really upped the ante up front so you can get a lot of people, backing you. But so I suppose you don't have a manager?
No, I don't know.
No. I forgot to ask you at the start of the podcast. Who do you follow the football?
Oh, I don't really. I don't follow the football, but if I had to say I follow a team, I'd say Collingwood.
Mate, I might as well just end the podcast now. I mean, it's great. One of the
Um,
worst sides you could pick.
yeah.
Unbelievable, yeah.
I'm
Okay,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Mate, I'll forgive you this time, mate, because you're undertaking such a huge a task. I'll forgive you. But I generally don't like Collingwood supporters, I must say. So going back to the preparation, I mean the physical elements of the preparation, no issues. The bikes, what you need to break down, the tents and all that. That's pretty common sense stuff. But what I'd be worried about, and I'm not sure if you are worried about this, is how nutritionally, how's your body, where is your body at, and how will it sustain itself? Have you been eating certain foods? You're on a certain diet. You're measuring, your fat contents. Yeah. Have you put any science behind any of the nutritional side of things? Because that's going to be critical.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly what you're saying. But yeah, a lot of people have asked me the same thing: how you're gonna eat, how you're gonna, maintain your hydration levels. I guess it's gonna be a pretty repetitive diet, but as long as I'm getting enough, of the carbohydrates I need, I'm gonna be eating a lot of pasta, oats, muesli. I've got a rice with me as well. Yeah, sultanas as well, just stuff for me to snack on as I'm going. So I haven't really put any science behind my diet. I've just been maintaining the same diet, I guess. So
Mm.
yeah, there's no science behind it. It's just a bit of common sense, I guess, as long as I'm eating enough along the way.
Yeah, I think you're obviously not doing it for weight loss purposes, so I'd be stacking up on all the good stuff. To be frank with you, and if you get the opportunity to, you might want to sort of hook up once it gets some attention. You might want to sort of hook up with some people along the way to give you advice because there was a guy. I'm not sure if you heard about this, but there was a guy probably 2 or 3 years ago who swam a ridiculous amount of kilometres, and he was on a diet of about 10,000 calories a day. It was amazing, and when the guy was getting interviewed. he almost looked like a normal guy. I mean, you wouldn't say he was obese by any stretch, but I mean, I struggle and I pretty good and quality and quantity, and I struggle to get two and a half thousand into me. So, are you going to be actually counting or again just getting a grip of how much you're eating or fueling your body throughout the whole process?
Not really. I'm not going to be monitoring. I guess I'm sorry, not monitoring. Recording what I'm eating. But as long as I'm eating enough, that I'm not bonking out. I feel myself. I'm energized to get through the day. I don't want to be getting to the point where I have no energy and then eating because that's too far gone. I guess I won't recover from that. The day's over if that happens. So, yeah, as long as I'm having my meals, get up early, eat some breakfast, have my lunch breaks and stop offs, throughout the day, I think I'll be fine.
No, I think it would be sensible, and you certainly, from by the sounds of it, taking the sort of right approach. So, all things being equal, you're leaving on you said the 26th, right, of February.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And that's a Sunday.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be great because I'll be in Melbourne, funnily enough. Then I fly out Sunday night. So, where are you leaving from exactly in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's actually Sorrento Ferry, so I'll be leaving from Sorrento Ferry, heading over to Queenscliff. I'll be staying in
Right.
Queenscliff on that day, and then leaving the following morning, heading to Apollo Bay the first day.
Okay, so that's Sorrento to Queenscliff on the ferry, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then starting from Queenscliff across to South Australia.
Yep.
Okay, so are you gonna sort of try and get any promotional kickoff on that at Sorrento?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. Like I said, once we do this media release, who knows what'll happen? Maybe people will start getting behind it. Yeah, I'm hoping that'll happen.
Okay, and all things being equal, when do you think you're going to be back in Melbourne?
I gave myself 5 months. I said it'd take 5 months. If I ride every day, it'll be around 4 months, but I won't be riding every day. I'll need my break days. So yeah, I said around 5 months.
Okay, and you're not going to hold yourself to that, right? If you're stuck in the middle of Australia, you're going to keep on going, right? You're not going to. The 5 months isn't a drop dead target. It's something that you're aiming for, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, I'm not going to be holding myself to that 5 months. If I've got to take longer, I'll take longer. If I can get back under 5 months, I'll get back under 5 months.
Mm, mm. Yeah, no problem. That'll be fantastic. So, how are you going to keep in touch with people? How are you going to keep sane?
Yeah, exactly right. It'll be pretty lonely out there. So, like I said, half the challenge is getting my body to cooperate, and I think the other half is just training my mind to push through those pain barriers, both on the bike and off the bike. Just being lonely out there. So, yeah, I've got the Facebook page that I've set up. It's named Ride Around Australia. It's got over 400 likes. So, the people will hopefully get behind that, like that, share that around. When I post
Yeah,
things on there, yeah, it will be shared around by the foundation. So. Yeah, that's besides that, I've got a few people meeting up with me along the way. Obviously, family, friends, and some other people that might ride with me a couple of days.
yeah. No, that'd be fantastic. So, you're gonna have a mobile phone, I guess.
Yep, I do. Yeah, I got a satellite phone as well. I'm actually sponsored by Telstra, the mobile satellite network. So they provided me with a sat phone to keep in touch.
Okay, so they're basically going. You're accessible 24/7, right?
Exactly. Yep.
That's very good of them, mate. For those who don't know, Telstra's a huge, or the biggest mobile telecommunications company in Australia, correct?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So are they, other than just the satellite phone, are they giving you anything else, supporting you with anything else, or it's just that?
Yeah, just that the sat phone and obviously the plan that goes with the sat phone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fantastic, good. So when you finish your 160 k's in a particular day, right, and you get your food in, you're just about to go to bed, mate. Who's the first person you're going to message or call?
Probably I'd have to say my mum because she's been on my back about that. I want a call in the morning and a call at night just to know you're at where you need to be. So I think it'd be my mum and then my dad and see what happens after that, I guess.
What do they think? What's going through their minds at the moment?
Yeah, obviously, I don't think my parents would let me undertake something like this if they didn't know I was capable of it. So they're pretty confident in my ability to achieve it. They know it's going to be hard for me, but yeah, I think they understand that I can get through it.
Yeah. So, I mean, just knowing you're obviously from Greek heritage, obviously I am as well, and I mean, I don't think my parents, whether or not they thought I was prepared for it or not, would let me do something like this. To be frank, when you told them the news, how did they react?
Yeah, well, I'll just start. I'm actually Italian, but same, yeah,
I,
same rule applies. Yeah, Italians, Greeks, but yeah, they were pretty shocked at first. They thought I meant that I was going to do it with a support crew. That's what they were thinking. But when I told them I wanted to do it alone, they were pretty shocked. So I just talked them into it. I showed them how prepared I was, all my planning that had gone into it, and they were pretty comfortable in me taking off on the journey, I guess.
yeah, well, that's wonderful support because you need that. And have you got any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I do have a younger brother,
Yeah, and how old's he?
15.
Okay, and what's he think about all of this?
Yeah, he hasn't really said much, but I'm sure he'll miss me when I'm gone.
Does he know what's going on? Does he know the magnitude of what his bigger brother's actually doing here?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Uh, Fantastic. Now, you were educated at Marsland, right? Which is near where I grew up, actually, in Bulleen, and uh, they pumped out some pretty awesome footy players, didn't they?
They did. Yep.
In fact, sports people, which was very good of them, and they're academically very very good. How supportive has the school been? Because you obviously made the decision when you were doing your final year, right? Year grade 12.
Yep.
So how supportive were they?
Very supportive. Yeah, I had the vice principal of the college. He actually did many posts on Twitter and whatnot to spread the word around, and yeah, he's been very supportive. So has the whole community. They've gotten behind me, which I really appreciate. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that would worry me if I was coming along with you or actually just knowing you're doing it is the safety element. I mean, the roads in Australia, from where I've travelled, and it hasn't been extensive, are pretty good. But I mean, you've got a whole heap of dangers in front of you. I mean, put aside the cars, what else, would there be?
Yeah, obviously, I don't think wildlife will be a big problem along the way. I don't think that'll bother me. But you've got the road trains along the Nullarbor, those rural roads, those big 3 carriage road trains. They're pretty nasty. So if I get in the way of those, it's not too good. I'd probably pull off the road when they're coming past. Keep my eye out for those. And besides that,
what are they, mate? Sorry, what are they?
the road trains, just big trucks.
Oh, okay, the big lorries,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, lorries, yeah.
Okay, so obviously them being in front of you, okay, and they speed, don't they? Those guys. I mean, they're on up. They take uppers and all sorts, don't they? Really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So if you see one in front of you, it's fine, right? But obviously coming up behind you, I mean, have you got mirrors or how would you know?
No, I don't. I'd probably just have to check over my shoulder every now and then. I've spoken to a few people that have ridden through the Nullarbor, and they said that if you mind your own business, stay on the side of the road. They should go around you, but I don't know if I'd trust it that much. I'd probably have to pull off the road to let them pass because they are pretty intimidating.
Freaky stuff. Yeah, they're mad.
Yeah.
They are mad. Yeah, you don't want to get in their way, mate. I tell you, toast. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The going back to the nutritional part, mate, and we'll sort of wrap it up in a couple of minutes. But back to your diet. Are you going to be taking? There's only so much you can really eat. It's not like your family home where you got all sorts of food that you can actually access, cook, prepare. From what you said, it's the basics, right? The rice, pastas, the sultanas, all that type of stuff. But are you going to take any supplements with you? Anything that will sort of backfill what you might be missing out on?
Yeah. So this year, I used a fair few supplements throughout my training, such as like gels, energy bars. I had the water mix as well. Towards the end of the year, I stopped using them because I wanted to, not have to rely on them when I leave. So I started training without the supplements, which made obviously training a bit harder, but it also made me a bit stronger on the bike. So yeah, I won't be. I don't think I'll be bringing any supplements with me. But along the way, if I can find a few, energy bars and whatnot, I'll probably pick them up to help me.
See, it's interesting because people say supplements. You got some people that say supplements are, a waste of money, do nothing for you, add no value. You got another group over here that say they swear by them, they'd never get off them, and been on them all their life type thing. So you reckon it made a difference, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And what were you taking?
I was using the High Five Nutritions. I had the banana gels, the fruit mix in the water, and some peanut butter energy bars. That's what I was using throughout the year.
Yeah, I reckon they help. And sometimes, I travel quite a bit for work and stuff. And, obviously, running peak means I've got to be in different countries at different times. And although a lot of people who are associated with don't like supplements, don't think they have any value, and think they're a whole waste of money, I think there are a couple out there that do help you. And once you're off them for a couple of days, if you're traveling and you forget them or you run out, I find a big difference in performance. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, I find you sort of keep a couple stacked away of different sorts for yourself. But they reckon this will be. Interested in your views here. They reckon smoking cannabis for endurance, particularly ultra marathon guys. That's very, very helpful. Is that? Obviously, cannabis isn't legal in Australia, right?
No, it's not.
No. Okay, so it's not like you can really take a couple of cigarettes with you and
No, probably not.
get home.
I'd probably take the supplements. Yeah, I'd probably take a fair few supplements. Yeah, but I don't think I can bring that along.
No, that's fair enough, mate. No, that's fair enough. Okay. Well, buddy, listen. I think what you're doing is one of the finest examples of what an individual guy can do, and especially at your age. When I remember my age, mate, I could hardly make it out of bed by midday most weekends. So, I think when most guys are 18 and drinking, smoking, partying, and chasing women, you're going to be riding around Australia, mate. So, I think that's admirable. So well done, mate. Best of endeavours with the lead up time between now and the 26th when I'm in Melbourne. I'll certainly sort of hook up with you, and we can maybe do another chat. And I'm sure that once the media starts finding out about this, you're going to have support thrown at you left, right, and centre. And I would take it, mate. I would really lap it all up, and obviously fund yourself, and then pour it back into the foundation for the research. So, mate, great to have you on the program. I'm sure all our viewers found that fascinating. And I'll speak to you soon, Jack.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, Mark. I really appreciate it, mate.
Our pleasure, buddy. Good on you. See you later.
See you, mate.